Real talk for the bold, bruised, and built to last. Welcome to the Built This Way podcast with Patricia Mullen.
We're back.
And we're back.
We're back. We are back. And by we, I mean Patrick and the. Did you like that?
I did like that. Very nice.
Yeah, I woke up kind of singing this morning. So
I woke up dancing. That was perfect.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did I sing? I woke up singing this morning. My husband would laugh this. It's just one of them days that a girl goes through when I'm angry inside. Don't want to take it down on you. And then I was like, don't take it personal. Because I really just want to be all alone. And I have a night to myself. And I might be a little bit emotional.
You? No, not at all.
I'm like wearing it on my sleeve. So, welcome, Patrick.
Hey,
so
Patricia.
A little bit. This is one of my funnest and best business relationships.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Same here.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. No offense to anybody else, but I don't have anybody else that I've known for over 20 years. That met me kind of as a kid in the start of my career. That is so here's the story of Patrick and I. So everybody, this is Patrick. You've been hearing me talk about him for, I don't know, a while now, at least 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And I want to get into that. So the reason why I wanted to have him on today, because he is my producer. Patrick has a company called PJT Ventures, and it is a podcast production company. And he's pretty freaking amazing. I was lucky enough to see one of his first business posts, and I was like, hey, I know you haven't talked in 20 years, but I've got all this expensive equipment, I think, sitting there doing nothing, pissing me off and making me avoid my desk because I looked at it as a failure or something I've always wanted to do. And that's why I wanted to do this episode. And people ask me every single time I release an episode, how do you do it? It sounds so good, which thank you. I know. Right. And, but I was really insecure about it in the beginning when I started on my own, and I had actually recorded several episodes and I hated them. And I'm like, these will never see the light of day because I
still haven't even heard them yet.
Yeah. I probably didn't even let you listen to them. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. One, I didn't feel confident, and it's really scary to just start a mic and just start going, right? And some people can do that, and some people are really natural at talking. I feel like I'm one of those people, but there's a lot of nuts and bolts behind it. So when I saw that you were doing this for a living, I was like, yo, dog, let's talk. Because you're not only I didn't know we were going to be this comfortable with each other, frankly. I remember from back in the day, I still followed your social media and things, but we have so much fun.
We do.
So yeah.
It's a blast.
Yeah. So Patrick and I met back in radio days.
And I don't know why you don't remember this. I
probably blocked it out of my memory.
I don't know if it was that much of a dick move, but I mean, it wasn't even that. I
spilled this drink on you.
I spilled the drink on you. I was being introduced to everybody at the radio station, and I just I think I had already been the intern at that point, and then our old program director made, may rest in peace, Keith Curry. He basically said, hey, I want you on the night show. You sound great, blah blah blah. So that's when and so we had this big, I think, ratings party at Monaco Bay in Kalamazoo.
I remember that. But
yeah, it's not even there anymore.
Bouncer there years later, isn't that wild?
Wow.
I know.
And I got really drunk there on my 21st birthday.
Early my 21st birthday. I think I did too.
I forgot how to walk that night.
Advertising they'd have, because they're not, right?
Oh yeah, no, they're not even around. But they sold my whole birthday party as a big night thing, and
I remember that. I was there, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know who had the account. I think it was that Denise girl that was with you.
I think it was me.
Was it you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
I think it was me because they had a group of restaurants, and that was one of my first remotes, and I was not even 21.
Yeah, neither was I. They thought I was 21. And that was the whole thing. Yeah, and that was the thing. They thought they were selling this whole thing. By then, I went over there. I went as Fat Pat, PHAT, pretty hot and tempting.
I know, but
yeah.
Now I'm like,
yeah, I know.
Not
Whatever. I was
politically
trying to find myself in radio. I thought that was a cool name. There was a guy in Detroit named Fat Matt, and he was a skinny guy. So I'm like, all right, maybe like people think I'm skinny. So
better than being flat, Pat.
yeah, that's true. Good point. No,
Not that anyone's ever
no fun roads have straight lines. Always curves. But I remember that night I got introduced. Hey, this is Tulia or Patrick or Fat Pat, whoever he introduced me as. And I'm like, oh, hey, nice to meet everybody. And I stand up and I kind of like meeting the group. And at that same time, I like use my hand and clip the pop that I had in my hand or on the table. And where did it go? Directly right into your lap. So
that was great. Good times.
That was my first ever meeting of Patricia.
Yeah, but you know what? Don't feel bad. I don't remember stuff that happened yesterday.
So I don't feel bad at all.
But I do remember that place. I remember but who knows? Who knows?
Hey.
But yeah, so we're in our 40s now, bro. I'm sorry. You can edit that out. But no, that's so wild to think about that and how much time has gone by and how crazy important relationships are. Neither one of us are doing the same thing. Thank God.
No, I mean, we're sort of kind of doing the same thing now.
Yeah,
I mean,
not exactly the same thing.
No, we're running our own shit now.
Drinks spilled on me at bars on a reg to where I can forget about it.
No, just godchildren doing stuff to you.
Yeah.
Listen to the last episode. It's a doozy.
I got them yesterday. They were angels.
It's a doozy and also evidence in a courtroom.
Oh my God. Shit. I just get so comfortable on this thing. And I listened to that episode.
Yeah.
And I just like everyone. And I say, let it fly. So, and we can talk more about the process, but that's been ours. Is like, God, how cool is it to have somebody that you can ask questions to and be like, I don't know about this or how I sound. And you will push me back. You'll push back on me quite often, not all the time, but you give me creative, constructive criticism or you give me a lot of reasoning of why things need to stay authentic or sometimes not edited. And that I do need to say. And so I think the more I've worked with you, the more freer I've felt. And then
Unfiltered?
I said less about it because I know what you're probably going to say. And the last in particular, I was scared of because I didn't want to offend anybody. That was not the intention. But it felt really good, like therapy. And I listened to that and I go, damn, I really like that episode. And that's what happens every time.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I think with this, in particular with your episodes and your podcast, it is like a therapy session for you. Mm-hmm. And I think that with a lot of my clients, there are certain clients I have that are more just like, their business and the structure, like it's a marketing for them, for like a marketing arm of their company. Right. So they want to talk about their products. They want to talk about, so that's a different story. Right. But you connect. And I said this in the beginning, you connect on a different level because you're real. You're unfiltered and people connect with that. People can smell and see bullshit a mile away, and that will never connect with an audience. I mean, whatever, some reality TV shows that are, maybe I'll take that part out because I know you're going to.
You don't have to take anything out.
Yeah.
No, talking about, but they will position things in a certain way that any media does.
Yeah.
Savannah Chrisley just did a thing. I could not believe she did The View, which was shocking. Good for her because they're so polar opposite of her views. Mm-hmm. She did a beautiful job, and I saw some clips on TikTok, and that was one of the things that she actually said. I've been on hundreds and thousands of episodes of some, of reality show, and they tell you, this is what I need you to say. We're going to ask you this question, and this is going to be the outcome. And she said maybe 10% of it is real.
Yeah.
So she publicly said that. I don't think that, and that was new information to me because I love reality TV. I've always said I hated it. And I want to say that I hate it, but I just love the drama that's not my drama.
Well, and a little bit of a sneak behind the scenes into radio, right? Same thing. The majority, I mean, we're in the entertainment industry, right? When I was in radio, we're in the entertainment industry.
And this is the entertainment industry.
Yeah, and it's the entertainment of the mind because 90% of people listen to podcasts are listening, are listening. They're not looking.
Or entertained.
Right. But that's the thing. It's like, these like radio shows, like, the prank phone calls and the war, that's all shit's pre-planned, right? It's all, sending flowers to somebody and that's not their wife or their girlfriend. And, then you got the girlfriend on the other line listening. No, it's all fake. It's all not real, but it makes for good radio, makes for good TV. It's entertainment in the mind. Right. And so, yes, people like it, and it's a kind of like an indulgence to some people, but if you are trying to gain an audience, especially with a podcast, you have to be more real than everything else.
Yeah.
Because if you're not being real with them, they're gonna smell it a mile away,
People
and then they're
smell
gonna
it. Yeah.
disconnect from it,
Yeah. I find myself doing that too. And truth, I don't listen to a ton of podcasts. There are a few that I
Mhm.
have marked that and it's like they're Bible interesting to me. So I will go in when I have the time, and
Yeah.
that's when I'm doing something mindless. And then I'll be able to listen to them, or I can focus on something else, actually, so that opposite. Because to me, podcasts are a mindless activity. I don't
Mhm.
have to be sitting there and actively listening to it. It just can be on while I'm driving or while I'm working or doing
Right.
whatever. And most of the time, I'm not even watching it. I'm just listening to it, like you
Right.
said. And you're coming into someone's car or their home or their wherever they happen to be. And how do you create a relationship with someone when you're just fake? Or when and not to say that I don't love the ones that are probably overly produced. I don't care because they're entertaining or I feel like I've got some value out of them or whatever. When it comes to reality shows, I'm not there to be educated. I'm strictly there to be entertained. I know that shit's fake half the time. I don't really care if it's real. In fact, some of it's so bizarre, it's probably a good thing that it is fake. But
Yeah.
for whatever reason, it's something I'm bonded with my mom, and, like, we just dish about certain shows, and I don't get into all of them,
Yeah.
2 or 3, that for whatever reason just have this sick hold on me, and I
Well,
don't
they're
oh,
there to babysit you, basically. You know what I mean? Because you don't
probably.
want but, I mean, think about it, though, like, if you're 'cause, like, a lot of people now, right? A lot of parents now just throw the iPad in front of somebody because it's like they can go do something else, right? And
Mhm.
the kids are distracted. So it's like a distraction, right? Because it's a distraction from your real life, and a lot of these reality shows overly produce stuff that it's just like, you know what? It's just an escape for an hour or 2 just to get me not thinking about, my bills and my whatever, my business is failing or my business is not growing enough or whatever, or my relationships are messed up or what. It's just an escape for a couple hours to kind of clear your head, you know.
My producing this podcast with you, or even if I
Mhm.
was just doing it on my own, I probably would stop. This holds me accountable, honestly, and it excites me now that we're doing more of them
Yeah.
because it gives me an outlet, and for me, it's more fun. However, the why and why I wanna continue doing it and what I get out of it
Yeah.
is that I think other people feel that they like it too,
Mhm.
that they're entertained, and that I do bring some value or they learn something. And that's kinda my shtick, right? So
Yeah.
everybody's kinda got theirs, and in my little tag is for the bold, bruised, and built to last. Oh, I just did a promo and I said broken. I probably should fix that. But it's a bull yeah, yeah, but it did really well, so maybe a
It's all
bunch of people
no, it's all under the
know
same
now.
it's all under the same
But
umbrella. You're fine.
sorry, a spammer was just calling me.
Oh, number 1 rule. What did I tell you? You know, you're making me look bad here.
No, we're just bringing up certain things and lessons. But yeah, I'm doing it for more like that. And when I started producing or sending them out, and
Mhm.
people were reaching out to me that I had no idea would listen, I felt like they were getting something out of it too. Because
Yeah.
the trend has been, I feel like you're talking to me, or I learned this, or this was really interesting. And I was like, huh, I should keep doing this. And I
Yeah.
feel like there's a reason that I am doing this. It's different for me on this. I look at this as like a media, just like social media is, you got Facebook and Instagram and whatever. For me, this is just
Yeah.
another way to connect with people. And it's the one I've been the most consistent in as of recent as someone that does the other for a living
Yeah.
because I enjoy it. And because there is a freedom in the reality of just being authentic and having to not sit and almost edit your text and think about things and see exactly who's watching it and how they're judging it on a day to day. I rarely look at the analytics on it because I don't want to care. I just want to produce really good shit that helps somebody or makes them smile or makes them feel like they're not alone. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
So I do look at it sometimes because I want to know if I'm doing a good job, and I know that the more that we do them, the more, but I was pleasantly surprised by the downloads on the analytics just the other day. So I just need to continue doing us, or me doing me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And these messages are finding people. The more we produce, the more ideas I have.
Mhm.
So this morning I messaged you. I was like, here's some notes, because how I do it is I have a brilliant idea probably an hour before we record or the day before. And then I go to my lovely friend, Mr. Chat, and I say, hey, this is what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And then please put it into an outline so that my guest will understand it.
Yeah.
And then it gives me a beautiful outline, and then I take out a bunch of shit because it's usually super long. And then they get it like right before the show, because I don't want them to overread it, whatever. You know,
Right.
I did the same exact thing with you this morning. And then you were like, oh, I thought that was next week, but we're cool. I'm like, we talk every week, bro. It's gonna be fine. I was so excited about it though, because people ask me this every week. I think so many people have a desire to start their own podcast. They just don't know how, or if it's right for me, or oh my gosh, it's super scary, or oh my God, I don't want to do like Patricia did and buy equipment and not do anything. I have a friend who I hooked you up with. She sent me a text with a photo with literally like her mic and something else,
Yeah.
very inexpensive setup. She's going to be great. We spoke with Brandon several episodes back. Her and I had the opposite experience. She's got 500 and something episodes. It just depends on what you need, your time, I think your bandwidth, obviously budget, and what your goal is with it. For me, this started as a hobby. Now it is a mission.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I mean, and well, that's and it again, you can sit there and go, why do I want to do, like, that's the number one thing. Everybody knows, like, everybody has a story, right? And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you tell it, right? But like, the way I approach clients and I approach you is kind of like, listen, at the end of the day, this is your show. I can give you that feedback. I can give you, hey, the technical aspects of everything. Like, hey, let's redo this part again, or you know what, that can we let's take this out but not talk about this. But again, I remember there was an episode where I wanted to cut you off, like, you had a guest on, and I was like, and we're like like 40 minutes into it, and I'm like, okay, and then all of
I
a
didn't
sudden,
see you cutting me off. I just kept
no,
talking.
no, but that's the thing, that was my mistake, because then all of a sudden the rest of that episode was like, oh my God, if I would have cut that out, it would have been, it can be a lot of like, give and take, but also learning on the fly,
Well, yeah,
you
you don't
know,
get comfortable sometimes, or I don't. Sometimes until 15, 20 minutes in.
right,
That's
and
when I'm
so
moving, and that's when things
yeah,
get good. And then it's like, well, I should probably stop because I'm just boring everybody, or I'm just rambling on. But when there's a guest, I just told a guest this morning, expect about an hour.
yeah,
I'm have a guest. There's been like an hour. I'm just gonna be real. I usually told him 30 minutes. I'm like, that's bullshit. It's gonna be an hour. It might not
yeah.
be an hour episode,
No,
but
we can usually cut it
you're
down,
gonna take
but
an hour of your time.
yeah,
That was because it was someone in the medical profession. I don't want to waste his time.
yeah,
But for real, I mean, that could go really, really long
yeah,
potentially. People, I before was getting so in my head on how I sounded or certain words.
yeah,
I hope I've stopped saying a lot of those words. There are a few that I know I don't say, and then I've replaced them with other verbal crutches. It really pisses me off. And then I listen to them and I say something to you and you tell me not to leave them out.
yeah.
But it's
Well,
it's been a process.
there's a fine line between verbal crutches and your personality, right?
My whole
Because,
personality is a verbal crutch.
well, that you're one giant verbal crutch.
I'm not. I'm a little tiny verbal crutch.
Well, and right there, that's the perfect example. You do this baby chocolate, yes, and but that's the thing. Is that a verbal crutch, or is that your personality? And that's what you kind of like, you start to develop over time, right? But there's nothing wrong with that, because that is part of your in my opinion, that's part of your personality.
The sun just came out as you said that.
Yeah, see,
Just like going, oh,
right? It's that come to Jesus moment.
developing over time. Yes, I'm available for singing contracts.
Yeah.
Because I like barely feel like singing today. No offense, Patricia gets a day alone, starts singing and like skipping all over her house. Um,
Ridiculous. You're such a clown sometimes, so I will give you that.
it just depends on what mood, personality you get at the
Yeah.
time.
It depends on what medicine you took in the morning or in the afternoon.
That is not a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like hard truths. I took the
Mm,
right ones today. We're good.
good job.
So, how did you get started? Like, what made you go, I'm gonna go from radio to marketing?
So, all right, I was in radio for 20 years, right? And I had a lot of fun. And the industry, as you know, you can kind of see. I mean, you've walked away from it, a while ago, but
I didn't walk away, I was dragged away.
well, yeah, you were
I
dragged. You
woke
were
up in
pushed out.
promises and broken dreams, but I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
It's
That's
fine.
fine.
Everything's fine. It's
No, but
fine.
yeah, but I left and I ended up joining my family's construction company. Well, and then I eventually became a partner. And then after that, it was like, okay. And then COVID hit. And COVID hit and was like, okay, wait a minute. Family's calling right now. But I have mine
Oh,
on
I'm
silent.
talking about our phones.
I have it on silent. So professional. No, but so so that was the thing. So in 2020, COVID hit, and then we were shut down for 6 months. As you know, a lot of the
Mhm.
construction industry was pretty much just nope, no way. Even though you're working outside, nope, nobody's gonna be around each other for 6 months.
Well,
So
too.
that didn't stop the bills though. We had $100,000 going out the door every month and nothing coming in.
Mm.
So we tried to play catch up, and unfortunately we couldn't, and we had to sell off the business. And but that shortly before that, I just got married. My mom passed away 2 months before that, before the business got
That's
sold
smart.
off, and I appreciate it. And then shortly after that, I was like, okay, I have no job, and then I get into a bad. I fell. I fell in a parking lot, and a bad injury, and I had required 4 surgeries on my knee, and so I was laid up for 6 months to almost a year. And then as I'm healing, what happens? I'm out for my birthday and we get into a car. My wife and I get into a car accident. We got T-boned by a drunk driver.
Hit after hit after hit after hit.
Yeah. So in the time of being laid up and also being laid up from the accident and stuff like that, I've been going on interviews and Zoom interviews and everything's going great. Oh, I'm interviewing marketing companies. I'm interviewing with podcast companies. I'm interviewing with anybody, right? Anybody who basically take my call. And everything was going great. And each interview was like, each of the ones that I really wanted were like, hey, we love you and everything. And I'm like, okay, great. I great. Let's talk. Let's talk
Mhm.
business. Talk numbers. Nothing.
Uh,
Ghosted. And I got sick and tired of being so ghosted that I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna start my own business.
I love that.
And so I talked to a colleague friend of mine, and he kind of mentored me. He basically mentored me through this whole process. He had been doing it for 8 years prior to this, and he's well known within the industry, and he's kind of hold my hand through the whole process. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a chance. My wife makes very good money, and luckily I can take that chance.
Yeah, that was me too. And again, I had a spouse that had like a check coming in
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's just like, I'm gonna start a company. I have no income. Woo! It's
Well,
like,
right, and I was living off my savings. I got sick and tired of it, and I'm like, "Shit, my savings is going down, down, and down." So I'm still living off my savings because I gotta self-fund this business.
mhm.
But, that being said, I'm like, "You know what? I can only disappoint myself." So that's what I'm doing, and I'm like, "You know what? Let's do it. Let's take this chance." So I
How
did.
long after you launched did you get your first client?
I wanna say about a month, and you know
Yeah,
who
the
that client
first
was?
me.
You.
The first thing I saw, it was just like a plain text post about you starting,
Yeah.
and I already knew I was hiring you.
And the thing is, I already started a month before that. Like, I was too afraid to kinda put it out there
I know, it
because I
sucks.
didn't wanna, like, "Oh god, this is real, like, this is actually happening," and,
We
"Oh
internally
god."
gaslight ourselves sometimes because we got
Oh,
imposter
yeah.
syndrome. Those things always go hand in hand for whatever reason. But, you've had a lot of shit
Yep.
happen and it sounds like a longer period of time too. I mean, it sounds like you just had a couple years of just like kick after kick after kick.
Yeah.
But that will train your brain to fail. And it's not like you're still succeeding, you're still doing things. You made a
Right.
decision to keep going and to do something super scary. And you're really successful at it. Like you're really good at what you do. You're taking all of this extra stuff. And as you were talking, I'm like, damn, he is the person that I was literally wanting to talk to when we came up with Built This Way, when I came up
Yeah.
with the concept.
Yeah.
Like, this is why I started my show, because like I had been going through so much stuff and things kept happening over and over and over. And I'm like, damn it, there has to be a reason for it. At least I can connect with other people so that I don't feel so alone.
Yeah.
But I wanted to connect and share all this stuff so that when I'm not on this earth anymore, it's not for nothing. And the beautiful thing is, like, through just like organically, I've connected with people
Mhm.
and realized that all of us are in the same boat. Like, if you've
Yeah.
been the lucky person that was just like born out of whatever, and you've got no problems, and you've never had anything bad happen to you, and you've never had anything medically happen to you, and you've never been in an accident, or if you've never lost your job, or never had financial issues or stress, and good for fucking you. What is your secret? Please share it with the world, because we are waiting. The rest of us are living life every single day, and
Yeah.
there is a population of us that create something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Like, your company was, you had things, you probably bought some equipment, but the biggest financial risk that you had was taking your time and yourself and throwing it in there.
Well, yeah, and I had a podcast myself, and I took my radio experience, my broadcasting experience, and I just put it to use. I had my podcast going. I'm like, okay, and that was following a weight loss journey. I mean, I was much bigger than this too, and I'm still a big guy, but I that's how I did it. And then I'm like, it kind of fell to the wayside after my mom got sick, and then the company was failing, so it was like we're trying to keep up, and so it didn't really. For me, it was like, okay, I'll put it to the wayside for a little bit and I'll work on it later, right? Just like everybody else. And that's what a lot of people do with podcasts is that what we call it pod fade.
Mhm.
5 episodes in, they're like, shit, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Do I really want to do all this? Like, I got to edit, I got to do this, I got to find a hosting site, I got to pay for all this. Like, people think, I'll throw it on Spotify and whatever.
They do, and success isn't linear with anything. I've heard that, and I've seen it probably on a wall, some motivational poster, probably where we used to work somewhere, like,
Yeah. I
basement.
saw in the bathroom somewhere.
Maybe, like,
Yeah.
success isn't linear, but unless you're going for the toilet, definitely linear, right?
Success
That's
isn't
success,
linear, except your stream is.
unless your stream is. Yeah, we should, like, brand that and sell it.
Yeah, we are. I got t-shirts being made right now.
Etsy, but it's
Success isn't linear, but your stream should be.
any urologist listening.
Yeah. That is great. Oh my God. My God. Oh my God. No, I can't even think because my
This is
gears are
our
going right now.
success in the past, marketing, creating ads.
See.
Oh my God.
Don Draper over here.
Ah, yes. Oh my God. But I was trying to make a serious point, but that was so much better.
No, but come on, be fucking honest. You cannot be serious. Yes, there are moments.
Tell everyone.
Every now and then you can be, but for the
Yeah.
most part, you are a clown, and that's what makes you you.
Oh, I hope people think that.
Yeah.
I've had some moments, even as of this week in a business setting, and I just kind of like was outside of myself going, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
No.
look, shit in life is too serious. You can't, it's serious enough for everybody. You need that break. And if that means you being a clown and just to get you through your day, whatever, who gives a shit?
You can't script this. And
No.
this isn't, I was looking at kind of some of our bullet points a second ago, and I'm like,
Yeah.
we organically talked about all this shit already.
Yeah.
You know,
We're 30 minutes in. We haven't.
You were like, oh, some of this is going to be quick. I'm like, it isn't, dude. It's not.
It never is.
I'm glad that you shared your story, though, to
Yeah.
go back to that, though, because a lot of people will put out the appearance of perfection and how they are just successful. And I spent a few years making sure people couldn't see my social media profiles. People don't know that about me. I was so in my own head of things that had happened in the past career. And I used to say things like that happened to me, but it was things that I allowed to let happen. And one of those things was for me to not have a great social media presence, or to allow people to like follow me on Instagram or whatever. And I just had an experience where my niece reached out to me to find out, because she wants to do social media. And I'm excited for her and everything. And
Yeah.
I looked at another cousin's page with her while we were on the phone, because I'm like, you're asking your 40-something-year-old aunt about social media. Like, that's so cool. These are kids,
Right.
But I gave her some like, safety things because it's just a different world. And I didn't want to sound like but also basic things like lighting and get a stand or whatever. She
Yeah.
wants to make up tutorials and stuff. And I looked at another cousin's one, and I have like on my Instagram, it's like a very small number, like maybe 600 and something followers. It's not big. And that's on my personal page, right?
Yeah.
And unless you want to find me and follow me now, as you can, but it's not huge, and it's fine because it's just for me to post things on, right? And I've had it for years. So I look at the one cousins, and she had like 2,600 followers with 32 posts total. What the fuck? And so then I looked, and I was just talking about consistency and things. So I just totally like debunked my whatever. And then she showed me hers that she started like the day before.
Mhm.
And she posted like every hour for like whatever. I'm like, what a damn good strategy. So if anything, you listen to this, do this. 800 and something followers. And I was like, bitch, why are you calling your aunt? Because obviously you're much better at this than I am. And you've been doing it for 24 hours now, like clocking, like, and don't put their caps on there.
But how old is she?
She's like 16.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly why. Because that's kids nowadays. I feel like kids nowadays.
I need to call her.
But that's their life.
She's gonna be on it anyway, but yeah, I'm like, oh, I need to do
but
that.
that's their life. Like that's how they communicate. They don't talk to each other. They don't, they communicate. So they find random people and start follow, and then the people that they follow, someone follow, I'll follow them back, follow them back. That's how the world works now. You look at
podcasts?
What's that?
What do you think age range is for people that listen to podcasts? I'm just curious. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, you cut it out. I didn't hear what you said.
I just was wondering, what do you think the age range is for people that listen to podcasts?
Oh, there is no really range. It depends on what you're putting out there.
So,
it depends on your market.
Well, I have a listener that I know is in his, I think 60s. He seems a lot younger than that, but I think he mentioned that he was in his 60s. I was like, holy shit, the man drinks me under the table. Like, I had no idea. Because he looks really young.
There's a podcast.
Yeah, but he was a listener, so I was like, wow, and then the other day, interesting story. There's a auto glass company out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, and they had several locations all over, and reached out to me through a referral, which is awesome. And they got brownies like you sent me. I sent, because I always, what gets celebrated gets repeated. So I sent the referral brownies like immediately, and the referral whatever calls, and they're talking, and I mentioned that I have a podcast, and he says, well, I'm so old, blah, 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 blah. I've been doing this for 35 years. And I'm thinking, well, like, I know someone that's your age. Anyways, while we're talking, I'm in Mississippi. Let's just put that in perspective. This man is in Michigan. I say, bro, did I possibly try to sell you radio like 20 years ago? And he goes, what was your name? And I told him, and he goes, I think I've met you. And I go, this is crazy. So he goes, what radio station did you work for? And I told him, like, Rock 107. And he's like, oh, so I've mentioned like the morning show folks and all that. And he's like, I was like, yeah, I used to do a lot of remotes and then 103.3 KFR. And he goes, yes. This is over 20 something years, like 25 years ago.
Wow.
I wasn't even 21, 20. I mean, I probably turned 21 there. Maybe I did while I was there. But
yeah, I think you were 21 by the time I met you.
Yeah, like there was a spot where I was like under the table drinking, and then there was a point in my career there where I was like, oh, like normal table drinking,
adult drinking.
I graduated from high school early because I dual enrolled, and then I forgot what age I was. Like I was just always dealing. I had my first apartment when I was 17. I bought my first house when I was 19. And like, because I started working out the gate and just having to life so freaking young, I forgot what age I was. So all my friends were older than me by at least, 8, 10 more years.
Yeah.
So when I started that job and I met you, I don't know if I was like incognito as a young person trying to be an older person because people didn't really believe I was, or what. But that was a really fun, interesting growth time of my life. And this is another one. So I'm glad that we've kind of like
come full circle.
Yeah, because I really liked who she was then. I think she'd be really proud of who I am now.
No, that's good. That's great. I mean, just like you and I.
Yeah.
We've come full circle. I mean, I was just starting out. I mean, I was a young buck. That was my first radio job. I'm
way cooler. I mean, you were cool then, but you're way cooler now.
I don't know if that's a backhanded compliment
It wasn't.
or
It wasn't. I think but I'm also incredibly humble and wear humility on my sleeve. And, and we've
yeah,
talked about this before. I, self-proclaim myself to be a genius all the time. You tell
yeah,
me I'm full of shit.
incredibly humble.
Incredibly humble.
Yeah.
So, like, tech stuff, because I do want to give more. I mean, I feel like we're giving really good advice and
Yeah.
also some good notes and stories and anecdotes. But, let's give our listeners some good stuff, like some tips, right?
Okay.
Because you give me some tips all the time and you're really good. And I want them to know why they should hire you too, right? Or at least leave going, I'm going to start. Because everybody has a story and they have a really good thing to say. And maybe you want to start off being a guest on someone's podcast so you have an opportunity to start sharing that story.
Hmm.
I started out that way, realizing I don't just have stories. I want to share other people's stories and just converse
Yeah.
and learn.
Well, and that's how I approach it. At the end of the day, this is just a conversation. It's just you, your friends hanging out in a room or at a bar or in a restaurant, whatever, and you're just talking. That's the way I approach all my clients. When you came to me and we had like a kind of a strategy session, like, all right, let's figure this out. Let's, because we come up with a concept, and that's how I take everybody from concept to production, right?
Hmm.
And that's what I do. So with that being said, that you were green. You were like, I have all this really nice equipment and it's growing dust and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I did a couple episodes. I didn't like them. And so I'm like, all right, well, let's first come up with the idea,
Yep.
start writing things down. And then, but the thing is, when do we do that? We did that over Zoom, right?
Yeah. And we
There was a
literally
purpose to that.
record. I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't actually let me record.
No.
I mean, we met for a month or so.
6 times I talked to you
Yeah, it was.
before we recorded your first episode.
And then when I did, it was like, you were
And
pissed.
I was pissed because you got it like that. Took me 20 years and I'm still figuring this shit out. And you're like, yeah, I got it. I'm a
No,
genius.
it made me feel good.
But
When I got done, I think I cried right
yeah,
after, wanting to get it out so bad. And then I just was like, oh my God.
well, because it was this pressure off of you because you finally are like, okay, I can do this. And that was the thing. There was a strategy, there was a method behind my madness of just talking to you for 6 different hours, right?
I'm like,
We
damn
had
it,
6.
let me go. I'm ready. And you're like, they're not
Right.
ready. I'm ready.
We had Zoom calls, we had calls on Riverside, right? We did all this stuff because the reason for that was because I wanted to make sure you were comfortable.
Mhm.
Look, a lot of people are like, should I do video podcast? Should I do just an audio podcast? Should I do both? Look, we can record everything on video and then just use the audio, right?
Yeah.
But I want to get you comfortable talking technical into a microphone, how far to be away, how far to be, how close to be, your positioning, all that kind of stuff. But that, because a lot of times, like I've had clients that like they want a video podcast. I put a camera in front of them, and all of a sudden they're like, and then I go, let me do something for you. I put a cover over the camera. I said, go ahead, talk. Boom, 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 boom. Because they don't feel comfortable yet. So
Mhm.
that's the whole thing with you. I knew you wanted a video podcast, right? You wanted to do, and there are times where I said, let's try audio first.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. I work with you. I don't talk down to you. I don't, because I know I've been there. I'm coming from a professional from a broadcasting standpoint, and I know when people are ready and when they're not. And if I can make you ready,
Get
that
ready. You got it.
yeah. I mean that's how I felt with you. Like I knew that I knew you were gonna do good. I knew you weren't ready yet.
Yeah. I
And
didn't want to. Sorry, continue.
no, I was just gonna say, like, that's why we did all those Zoom calls ahead of time, because again, I wanted to get you comfortable with structure and with how to, how to flow everything. And, because we can, it may sound natural, right? Which a lot of it is with us,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you also have like bullet points you're following. So you're not going off on like a half-hour tangent about socks. Right. And then when you meant to talk about all this other stuff. So you have to kind of keep it structured, but also keep it natural. It's
Well,
a
and I
fine line to walk.
And so I was just going to say that when I'm with a guest,
Mhm.
I am very good at just kind of looking at the screen, and I am somewhat better at not fidgeting as much. And you made a comment how I wanted a visual podcast. Honestly, I really don't care. However, I know that YouTube is a thing, even though you can just put it, and we can. But I also like having the content for reels.
Yeah.
And so having the visual on social media to promote that on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok in particular, and also YouTube Shorts and LinkedIn. So I promote them everywhere because I'm now out of my head and I want people to see them and I'm proud of my episodes and I don't give a shit because if you want to judge me, go have your own podcast and then I'll listen to it and judge you. No, I won't because I probably won't care. But, I don't want to not or miss opportunities as a marketer. That's why I wanted the visual. Now, I am terrible probably on visual because I am fidgeting a lot. This whole time I probably mess with my hair 20,000 times. I don't look at the camera or really when we're talking, I'm looking at you. So I think
Yeah.
that helps me because I'm not looking. But when it's just me, I don't look at the screen at all.
You're out the window.
Looking out the window or
Yeah.
something else because I'm just having a conversation. And I think that's also why it's so easy. It used to be so difficult. I put a mirror in front of my desk. I thought if I looked at myself, I would be able to talk. It's really hard to talk and just look at yourself. I would rather look at another person that way. It's just natural. And I'm not worried about how my face looks or what impression I'm making or whatever it is.
Right.
Any other place. So I got to figure that out. And I know that. So if you've been watching and you're like, damn, Patricia looks like she's like bouncing all over. It's because I am, because I'm trying to look at anything but me. And so I probably need to get like a camera set up where I can have a screen and I can look at that. Now that I'm saying that out loud, that probably makes the most sense. And I do once I figure out where the hell it is in my packing or unpacking. But that's the thing. For me, it's the audio that matters more than anything. I don't even like the way videos look because they're usually zoomed in and I'm like, you can see the pores in my face and that's weird or I have that because you got on me about that. But those are the things I just didn't want to think about. Now I'm like, damn, I can't wait to for my next episode because all these other things that I used to have anxiety about or think about, my armpits didn't even sweat today. That's crazy. Usually before I speak or whatever, I'm like, okay, I gotta get you out of this. But it's because also it's you. And we always talk, and I'm like, man, that would have been a great podcast. When are we going to do it? And you're like, we're going to wait. Wait, I have to get this other one done first. I'm like, all right. And then I tricked you this morning, and now we're here. But it's good. Because people need to know. And usually it's good if you called me a bitch at some point during the day.
Yeah.
I've done my job. I know you properly. And
I know I've completed my worth.
Yes, I'm not making it hard enough for you unless there's something I've got to, I got to get you out of your shell or whatever. But yeah, I think that for you, the best thing I could say is when you need to hire help. And I think when you need to hire help is if you have a desire to do it and you don't mind making an investment in yourself to do it. I knew in the beginning that this was not, and this is not, an income driving mechanism for my specific business. For a lot of businesses, it is. Now, it can be. I can speak more on P. Mullen & Associates, which is my marketing company that I happen to own and operate. And I've been doing that for 7 years, which I sometimes forget to do. But that's not the purpose of this. Yeah. So for me, this is a way to also build my brand and to get education and things that I want to get out there because it also double serves as content for my business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I am more comfortable talking in a podcast setting than taking a phone. Like I tell my clients every single week, by the way, they're going to be really pissed hearing this, that they should take a tripod and record themselves or record their work or whatever. And I don't like doing it myself because I've done it. And now I look back at my old stuff and go, I don't like how I look, or I don't like this, or this is different now, or whatever. This is getting me out of that.
Yeah. No, and that's it.
More of this for my content.
Well, and that's the thing. It helps with your overall delivery when you're on the phone or when you're in person, because, if you're comfortable talking to yourself for a half hour, then I think you'll be comfortable talking to a human being for an hour.
Yeah, I've never had a problem talking to people.
Never. No. But I mean, again, this is an extension, some people go on here and they just want to ramble and they want to talk about what's pissing them off for the day.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
But again, some people like that, and that could be a podcast. I'm not shining anybody
too much. I did that.
Right. But the majority of people that come to me, and not to say that I'm not turning anybody away, right? But the majority of people that come to me are business owners, entrepreneurs, or people that are just trying to build a brand or build their brand, right? Mm-hmm. And so I am there to help facilitate that, and that's how I approach it. I don't, I don't come into a room and say, no, this is the way it's proven, and this is the way it is, and you do it my way, or I'm not,
Yeah.
you're not hiring me. I'm not, working for. No, you have an idea, you have a story. Everybody has a story. Let me just help you tell it. I can give you the technical aspects. I can give you the rundowns of the flow of everything, how everything should be.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you don't like that, if you want to do it your way, that you are the boss. You are hiring me. You are
Yeah.
my client, right?
You're taking their vision and putting more purpose behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's a great way to put it.
yeah, I want, over once a day or so, I have something decent that I get to put out. I feel
Mhm.
like that's it. I'm done for the day. I got nothing good that's gonna come out of me. No, I'm just kidding.
But with with reels, right? Look, I think over 80% of people that find podcasts are finding through social media and through YouTube, through whatever. There was short clips, reels, right? And that's the thing. Not like, you got Joe Rogan, like let's use a prime example, right?
Yeah.
The goat of podcasting right now,
Yes.
Joe Rogan. All right.
Well,
He
technically,
does
it's Candace Owens because she just has the number 1
well,
podcast in the world.
right. But that echelon of
This is
people,
true.
right?
Yeah.
You're not sitting there for 4 hours and watching Joe Rogan. Where the majority of clips are seen? They're on
So
YouTube, 3-minute clips, 30-second clips, 45-second clips. That's where your marketing is. That's where your brand is.
mhm,
That's how people consume your content. Because
mhm.
as a society, we have such a short attention span. I could not sit there unless it's like I'm like so intrigued and I have 4 hours to do nothing, and which I don't, to sit there and watch Joe Rogan talk to a guest and get high. I don't have that kind of time. But I do have 3 minutes to watch a clip or something that would intrigue me because it's auto thumbing, right? You're
Yep.
just auto thumbing. You're
And
just
if someone's gonna sit and listen to my 20-minute or 1-hour show, wow, what an honor that they took
right,
time to doom scroll, find me, seek me out, whatever. Like, I
right,
don't know that if most of the people listen are people that I know. It's probably a good thing if they're not people that I know,
right.
because chances are I'm gonna tell a story about you. So if you affect my life, it's probably gonna be on here. Maybe a good reason to listen. I wanna connect with people that I haven't met and I haven't like, or maybe that I have connected with before that we can reconnect again. It doesn't mean I wanna have a conversation face to face with you, but this is a way for you to do that. And I think that when someone chooses to favorite your podcast show, it's
Yeah.
almost an intimate thing because now you're on their playlist, and when they are
Mhm.
bored and you are that filler.
Well, and so going back to what you said, right? You said, "Wow, if someone's going to watch me for an hour and a half," you said the magic words. If watch me, yeah, but
Or
a lo-
listen.
but that's the thing. People will listen for an hour and a half because
Yeah,
they can go throughout their day, right?
yeah,
That's why I always say audio is king because
yeah,
you are literally inside their head.
yeah,
So when you have a listener that's listening via podcast, via audio only, they have to paint that picture in their head. So
mhm,
they're more engaged as a listener.
yeah,
Whereas you're watching on YouTube, they call it boob tube for a reason because you're just sitting there mindlessly looking at it, right? And you can't really do anything else because you have to pay attention to it. So that's why I always say audio is king. You can have shoes and no socks and not, but you can't have socks and no shoes.
I went through that back and forth, like, which one do I do? That
Right.
probably froze my progress with trying to do it on my own. So when we talked about it, that's why I picked, well, let's do both because
Right.
I knew I wanted reels and
Hmm.
I needed that to be able to build it. It was from nothing. There's probably people out there that have started their podcasts and they're not necessarily, there might be pieces missing
Yeah.
with it because there's a lot of pieces to it. And so then they wonder, maybe they're just not getting enough exposure, or perhaps
Right.
they just don't have the time or the bandwidth to edit it or to keep it going or
Right.
whatever. But there are so many people that have a desire. They might want to put a podcast and they know it's only going to be 20 episodes long.
Hmm.
TV shows have limited seasons too. It doesn't mean that you have to continuously run it and have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes.
I tell clients it's consistency, consistency over quantity,
Mhm.
right? If everybody's like, oh, how many should I do a month, or how many should I do 2 month, 4 months? Should I do one a week or one a month? It doesn't matter as long as you're doing it every single time. If you're
Yeah.
releasing it every Tuesday, if you're or
Yeah.
the every third Tuesday, as long as people
Like
have
Cadence.
yeah, if people have a call to action to come on that day and listen to your podcast, that is what grows a podcast tenfold.
Yeah, and I do
It's
notice on the
consistency.
analytics there is when it goes
Yep.
out, it does, and that's because you're also promoting it
Right.
at the same time, and it's the other thing to remember is that when you put these episodes out there, they're out there forever.
Yeah.
So someone's not necessarily going to a lot of times people will start at one, but a lot of times people start at the last one because they wanna listen to the most recent, most relevant thing you
Right.
had to say. So if they're
Well,
gonna be out there, you don't know when they're gonna actually be able to actually hear them or decide to listen to it.
right, and Spotify, for example, only the top episode is your early
Your
or
last
latest episode,
yeah.
your last episode you did. So you have to go down, so
Yep.
it's always so if people come to your podcast, to come to your channel,
The last thing
they're
you
gonna
said.
see the last thing you just said. You're only as good as your last podcast, right?
You're only as good as your last podcast. Well, I hope this one's good 'cause out there. Ooh, it's awkward, man. I put Patrick on it. Analytics were low. Just kidding. Just kidding. It would not happen. It's gonna be so good.
I'm gonna listen to it like
So
100
good.
times just to increase the
Don't
analytics.
do that bullshit to me. I wanna know, and I do wanna know.
All right, then I won't listen at all. How's that?
That's what made me keep going because more people were listening than I realized.
Yeah.
People were listening or are that I never expected to.
Yeah.
And every time someone I'm like, "Wow." It's always like, "Wow, thank you," and they probably think it's just a canned thing. It's like a genuinely, "Wow, like,
Right.
you listened to that? Thank you. What did I say?" To make sure I
Yeah.
didn't say anything bad. It's an honor to for me
Yeah.
because they, gave me that time and that view, and I know I said in the beginning, I don't care, but I care because I want it to be successful. I don't wanna
Yeah.
do all this and no one to ever hear it, but it's not the purpose of why I'm doing it.
No. No.
And that's not why and for me, working with you has meant the world because I have a buddy, like, nonstop, somebody's always got my back.
Mhm.
You will tell me if something sounded like garbage if I was off that day, which I would
I
have
have.
had that moment.
Yeah.
You've, let me be myself. So
Yeah.
I've snapped at you, and I feel so bad about that. I didn't even know I did it, and she told me, like, the next day, and I'm like, "Medication issue." But, like, I've done that, and I didn't even know, and just having that constant person business is so fucking hard. This is probably the
Mhm.
first time I've sworn this whole episode. Damn, aren't you so proud of me?
I'm so proud of you.
Damn, I
So
got one
fucking
in.
proud of you.
I've got one in there. But it is. It doesn't matter what type of business that you're in. You could go to medical school for years and open up your practice and still feel the same way that I did when I started mine. Is where the fuck is everybody that I've been helping all these years? Twofold. One, I was in my head and had imposter syndrome and didn't want to know or let anybody know.
Oh, God,
Same thing
imposter
with
syndrome.
this show. Like I was also scared if I put something out and what if it sucked and I was better in my head or what if Patrick's just pumping me up because he likes having a client. But then I would listen and other people would talk to me and they're like, "This is really good." And I'm like, "Right? This is really good. I should keep doing this." But just to have that person, not that you have to pay for a constant support system,
Right.
but just to have any support system. I have friends that I know listen, and when I stopped and had my little medical hiatus, I felt bad because they also wanted to hear more from me too.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it. My show has given other people, I can list a handful, the freedom, the bravery, whatever you wanna call it, to do it themselves. Like,
Yeah.
people reach out to you that wanna start their own podcast because I started a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not being like
Someone's getting referral brownies.
no, but I'm excited for them with that.
Yeah.
I think that they should start that because they all have really great value and things to share and say, and there's so
They
many
all have a
podcasts
story.
out there.
They all have a story. There's 6 million podcasts out there, okay? But how many of those are actually active? Less than 10%. Really. Less than 10%. And by active, I mean at least 10 episodes, and your latest episode is at least 90 days, within the last 90 days.
I
So out of
talk
6 million, only less than 10% are active.
so I would consider this active. I have a friend and she
It,
posts about 5 times a week. I'm gonna get there. I think I'm gonna get there someday.
I don't, look, I have my personal opinion about that.
No,
I
I'm gonna be
don't,
so famous that people are gonna be paying me. I'm gonna have to post every day. Like, I'm gonna literally we're gonna have to
I mean,
do
if you're doing a podcast every day, you might as well go into radio because that's a radio show at that
I don't
point.
give a shit if I get to still be here in my home studio office and you get to do what you get to do in your home studio office.
Hey, I'm
And
not complaining by any means.
just continue just to talk and hang out. I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is
I'm
that,
losing control, so,
as
there's that.
long as your content will allow.
Yeah.
Because look, you can sit. I've told this to many people. You're like, how long should it be? Well, you can talk about socks for an hour as long as it's
Nobody wants to
interesting.
listen to socks really about
But as
finance.
long as if you have an interesting approach at it and you can carry that audience, then yeah, great. But the majority of podcasts are anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. That's
Mhm.
where you want to be. Now, granted, we're at 57 minutes in this
Well, there
podcast,
was a lot more
but
going
this
on.
is a different. This is not your typical episode.
Yeah,
But
in
I'm
my
saying, as long as you're, and it could be 3 hours long, as long as the content allows it.
yeah, I
Because if
don't always have content. I wanna storytell and educate and entertain.
right.
And not
Well,
that
even
I
when you have
have lack of stories, but because of guests and other people and the ability to share other stories,
right.
that's gold.
I mean, you've had guests that are half hour long, and then you had Seth, who was almost an hour and a half, actually over an hour and a half, but he was great.
That was a great one too.
It was a great episode. Dave, definitely listen. If you're listening to this right now, go back to Seth's episode. Really great episode. A lot of insight into business and marketing, and a lot of like cool stories that he
I
had.
like his voice.
Yeah. Oh, a great voice. Great voice. Great voice. But he had his. It's not. It wasn't necessarily his voice. It was his inflection.
Yes.
Yeah. His
He's got a
inflection was great.
calming
He does.
spirit about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he lives in California, right by the beach. I mean, how can you not be calming?
Well, I'm now kind of
Yeah.
by the beach. I haven't really seen it. Man, me this summer, look at how calming I'm gonna be. Just kidding. I'm
Yeah,
out.
as the airplanes are flying over your head
Yes.
every day.
Ugh, breath work this morning, like, just bring it back. But I was so excited about today, and
Yeah.
you've given me some purpose with it, and I appreciate that.
I
And
appreciate
I
you.
would invite anybody that's thinking about it, if they just want to, I don't know, if they want to explore the idea of it. You've got a new website you're getting ready to launch, right?
PJT Ventures.
PJTVentures.net. And Patrick does my producing of a lot of my reels for this and stuff too. So I'm pretty sure we'll make sure his information is out there on it.
Absolutely.
You can get a hold of him. And this is just a lot of fun. If you're looking to start one, my vote would be yes. And you don't have to reach out to me and say, hey, can you show me how? You can actually reach out to Patrick and I will
Yeah.
give you the information. For
Free
him
consultations.
need. Or if you want to try it yourself, or you want to, like, I'm not saying just, this isn't like the Patrick show to look at that, but I'm having a great experience with this journey, and it's given me a lot more bravery, and I have a lot more shit to say than I realized I did.
Yeah.
So my vote is yes. Definitely start one. And if you need some help, you know where to holla. I think this was a great show. What do you think?
I like it.
All right. I think
I mean, we
can
talked about me for an hour, so yeah,
All right.
of course.
Send it.
It has been such a pleasure, and it's always a pleasure working with you, Patricia. You've been great. You're my OG client, and so always right here with me. So
Awesome.
I'm a little biased when it comes to your stuff because you are my original. So, but at the same time, I'm not gonna not throw punches, right? Because I know that what it takes to be successful at this, and there are times where you and I are gonna have differences, but at the same time, we respect each other enough to accept each other's answer.
Yeah, I've never gotten a response from you and thought he doesn't have my back on this.
Right.
Literally, what I think is I'm kind of feeling like I'm in my head. He's probably going to say something against or back to me on this and tell me why, and then I'm going to get out of my head on it. And like that's what's happened. So I know you have my back. It's nice to have somebody that I trust to help me with this, and it just makes me better, honestly.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I've come from an approach of I've had some really shitty program directors that told me you don't have what it takes, and you'll come crying back when you go to the. When I was in Kalamazoo, the program director was there, the one that replaced my other guy. He's like, I was like, hey, I have this offer from Detroit. What do you think? He's like, you'll never make it there. Okay, yeah, you'll come crying back.
It
I'm like,
doesn't. It just takes one yes.
Yeah.
Your job out there in life and business is to continuously find no's and to get through as many no's as possible. And anything that you do, whether it's starting a new business and getting your first client, or selling something, or getting a job, or getting the opportunity, or, if you're auditioning for something, or whatever it is. Most actors and actresses that have been out there have usually been rejected several times before, that are like really big and successful. If you kind of look at their stories, it just takes one yes.
It does. At the same time, it also takes one no to push you in that direction.
Yeah.
It takes you a no to push you in the direction. It takes one yes to accept it. I was told no, that I'll never make it, and that pushed me even harder.
Mhm.
And that I finished my career in Detroit, and then now I'm still here in Detroit and doing this. And I kind of take all my clients as like a proud papa moment, but especially with you too. It's like, I've seen you grow. I've seen you be really green at the very beginning, but you were still good. Like, it's, again, still pissed me off how good you were in the first episode.
Stop calling me green.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Genius.
Yeah. So genius. It was just rough.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I hope the new house has bigger doors, because that head of yours just,
huge.
I mean,
I know.
no, but yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, like, I've seen you grow, and do I play a small part in that? Absolutely, but a very small part in that. This is ultimately you. And so you are growing, as one, as an entrepreneur, but two, as a podcast host, because I've seen it. I've seen you be this, like, kind of timid, but also then all of a sudden, boom, boom. And then you got guests, and then all of a sudden you're having it, just boom, boom, boom. And it's crazy how fast that happened. But at the same time, I'm not shocked, because of who you are, and you basically, you came out of the womb fighting, right? And so, like you said, at 19, you had to grow up so fast. So it's all part of your personality.
But even with all that, it's not like I had confidence, and I'm feeling more confident in it.
Mhm.
And even when I'm speaking, and when we get started, before I was like, okay, now let's get started. Let's go. Like, let's go,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what I'm here. I'm everybody's cheerleader. I've had too many people just say, you're not good enough. And I'm like, you know what? That's not the approach. The approach is to be someone's cheerleader, but also be their coach. You can be everybody on the field. You can be the player, the coach, and the cheerleader. For me, and your mine relationship here, I'm your coach, I'm your cheerleader.
Yeah, I in my normal roles in
Mhm.
life, and then I know we're going so long, I am the coach and the cheerleader, right? But here, I get to be the player, or
Yeah.
it's my show. I get to be the center of it, and all the things that
Yeah.
I've always wanted. So, childhood dream, just so you know, is to be an actress and a comedian, or model, or veterinarian. The only thing I hadn't done out of all of those things actually was the veterinarian.
Oh.
I've modeled, I've done acting, and I was the comedian, and I did improv comedy. And I feel like through all those things, and now with this show too, I get to make people laugh, and that's, part of it. But it's also a way for me to take all those things and make my dream come true.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Here we are.
All right. So the lesson is, if you're thinking of starting one, you probably should. You don't need all the money in the world, and you don't need all the producing help in the world. But if you have a general purpose behind it and you're looking to invest in it and make it really, really good, I know where to send you. So make it a great day. Get your shit together. Go start a podcast. Agreed?
Agreed.
All right. Send it. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for doing this, Patrick. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.